Hello, welcome back to another Honor Estate and to my predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver 2025. Yes, NXT's staple show over WrestleMania weekend, and it's a very intriguing looking card, some big matches on there for some major titles, and yeah, always a perfect start to our WrestleMania weekend this one, so I'm very hyped for this one. Let's get straight into the predictions. Starting off on the pre-show with a fatal four-way tag team elimination match to determine the number one contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. We've got Metaphor against Fatal Influence, against Paxi and Dolan, against Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. And yeah, this is interesting. It feels like it could be Roxanne Perez's last NXT appearance, and I feel like maybe having her and the star power of her and Jade teaming up to get to a big match when they first debut on the main roster, give them an immediate storyline, could make sense. I don't really feel like they built up any of the teams big enough really to have a big match like that, so I'm going to say it'd be Roxanne and Cora who get the win here. Moving on into the vacant North American Women's North American Championship, Zaria versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Rooker versus Izzy Dane versus Lola Vice versus Tia Hale in another match. And yeah, this is a really intriguing one. Obviously some big stars in this match. Yeah, I've been quite interested by Zaria since she's debuted. I think she's had a decent debut, obviously being overshadowed a bit by Julia and Vicker, but I think she's still a good character. Obviously Kalani Jordan, I think all the women in the match really have been built up to a certain extent, but I feel like yeah, Kalani is probably one of the most established stars, and I feel like she could get the win here. Moving on into Fraxium taking on Hank and Tank, and yeah, I don't know, at this point it's just a question of who's going to beat Fraxium. They've had the title so long, they feel main roster ready, but at the same time, yeah, it just feels like they're so far above everyone else really in the NXT Tag Team division. It's really hard to see who's going to take the title off them. Personally, I think they'll continue with the belts for a bit longer. And I think, yeah, maybe until a big new team debuts in NXT or something. But I'm going to say it'll be Fraxium who retain the titles here. Moving on into Ricky Saints against Ethan Page, two former AEW stars clashing off for the North American Championship. And yeah, this is a slightly intriguing one because obviously there's lots of rumours that Ricky Saints could be main roster bound as soon as kind of WrestleMania got out of the way. So yeah, would he drop the title here? But at the same time, I don't feel like they put the title on him if he was only going to drop it a few weeks later. So I think Ricky Saints will probably get the win here. It's going to be a great match. Two veterans who probably don't belong in NXT really, but I think Ricky Saints will have enough here to come away with the victory. Finally then, moving on to the six-man tag team match, the D'Angelo family against Dark State and Jeff. This is going to be an interesting one. Obviously Dark State, it kind of seems to be like a retribution sort of act that come in and destroy the brand, and yeah, I think the D'Angelo family, I think they're basically just here to be defeated, make Dark State look strong, and yeah, I think that's what we're all expecting to happen here. It'd be intriguing to see how they perform, if they got any cool tactics or whatever, but I don't think the match outcome's really doubted. I think it'll be Dark State. Moving on into the women's title match, and we've got Jordan Grace, Jada Parker, Julia and Stephanie Vicker all facing off for the NXT Women's Championship. And yeah, to be honest, I'm surprised they took the title off Julia when she didn't have such a long injury. But yeah, such an exciting matchup with her, Vicker and Jordan, so new to the division. But I just feel like I've been most impressed by Vicker so far and what she's done. So personally, I'm going to say it'll be Vicker who retains her. I think it'll be a great match. They steal the show with the talent that they've got in that ring. Moving on into Trick Williams against Obafemi against Javon Evans for the NXT Championship. And yeah, this is going to be another brilliant match. I thought for so long it'd be Trick versus Obafemi in the final rematch, but I think Javon definitely, the young charger, yeah, he looks great, doesn't he, in NXT so far. So yeah, it's going to be a great match for this one. I feel like Obafemi can retain. I think he's still got a lot to give in his title run. It's not quite Javon Evans' time yet, maybe. I feel like Trick Williams could take the fall here, and maybe his last NXT appearance before he moves to the main roster. So I'm going to say Obafemi retains, and then maybe we can get an Obafemi versus Javon singles feud down the line. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.